freezing. It is cold. Feels like -140. I'm talking Fahrenheit. It was so cold that the battery just drained. This thing is rock solid. It is frozen.
You have to walk in a Sinking sand. We went on the one track. No! There's a frog! Dad! There's a white dog! Oh, probably! But it's little one. Oh, like that dog!
All right, good morning. It is Tuesday, January 14th. It's freezing. It is cold. Cold. When we came out, it said feels like -1. So it's cold. And you saw Natalie and I, we actually took care of the chickens today, or the hens today. Evie's all about it. So the bucket, the 5-gallon bucket we had, the handle has been breaking off and it's been falling off, and we've been rigging it, and that thing finally disappeared. So Evie's demanding a new bucket. So we've got more buckets out here in the barn. We're gonna get that situated so she can do chores again tomorrow. We just told her to go play. So she's being a kid this morning, which is great. Hey, we've got like I said, it's -1, feels like -1. That sun's popping up, starting to feel a little better. We've got this Arctic, what is it? Arctic blast. We've got some sort of weather cold front terminology that I don't understand. Some sort of Arctic something is coming in this weekend. Forecasting is like, it's gonna be cold, -20. So we had one of these days last year. I brought the camera out. It was so cold that the battery just drained. I think I got a couple minutes of footage. That was cold. That was like -40. I'm talking Fahrenheit. I think it was like, it got down to -40 last year. So it's not gonna be that cold, but it's gonna be cold. I mean, -15, -20. It's not a warm day by any means. So we've got that coming in this weekend. So prepping for that. You know, again, we'll probably beef up the carbon in the loafing shed so that these cows are nice and warm. We'll probably just feed them in there just to keep them out of the elements. Again, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be blizzard conditions. I don't know if it's just going to be cold, but we'll make sure we're prepared for this cold front. So during these very cold days, it is super important. A couple of things. So our heater, obviously we've got the tank heater in here. I just noticed this snapped. This little contraption, I zip tied this to the side here, and that was working. That has been working. These cows get very curious. They want to nose this thing out and throw it out. Last thing in the world you want, especially this week, is for them to get curious and nose this thing out, because this thing will be rock solid. So I'm going to bring out a zip tie probably tonight when I do night chores, and zip tie this back to the trough here. But what I was going to talk about is, it is super important during these cold days. A couple of things. So, and I'll show you at the end of the video. When we're done watering, I'm gonna remove the hose and I'm gonna drain the hose. It seems super obvious. I'm telling you. The reason I'm bringing it up is because we haven't done it in the past. We've disconnected the hose, we've thrown it in the barn, and we come out the next morning and it's rock solid and we don't have water, and that's a problem. So, number one. Again, it takes like 15-30 seconds at the end of chores. I just lift the hose and drain it before we store it. Number two, when we're in here milking Annabelle, it's cold enough right now. If I turn this off, it's gonna freeze. It's gonna freeze. So what I don't wanna do is fill this trough up as quickly as possible and then turn this thing off, go milk, come out, this thing's gonna be frozen, then we're gonna have a problem on our hands. Tomorrow we're not gonna have water. So what I do is I just put this on a trickle. I'm barely gonna let this thing drain. It's not even gonna fill up 3/4 of this thing. I'm fine with it. I just need this flow maintained. And then when I can sit here and manage it, I'll fill it up, turn it off, drain it, and be done. The last thing in the world we want is a frozen hose. So a couple of things. I gotta fix this situation. I need to go get a zip tie so these cows don't kick this out. It's cold, but it's gonna get colder here in the next few days. All right. All right, I will say now Natalie's freezing, but I'm not doing horrible right now. But the nice thing, I mean, the sun's out, there's no wind, so yeah, it's cold. It's a brisk cold. Natalie loves when I use that term. It's brisk. It's the sun's out, there's no wind, it's freezing, but it's manageable. It's when that wind picks up, that's when it gets really, really nasty. On those days, we do have this heater here, but again, the sun's in here warming things up. We'll run this when it's like, if it's windy and it's really cold, I mean, it can get very, very cold. I joke about the brisk. A couple of years ago, we were planning on, well, it was Chicken Butcher Day. I don't even remember what day or what it was, but it was freezing out. It was like colder than today. I mean, it was freezing, and I was out setting everything. You know, I came out, got the chores done, got the cows milked, got everything set up. Usually I'll come out mornings of butchering and get all the chores done, get things prepped, and then come back and get Natalie and the kids. And I came back in and she's like, well, how is it out there? How is it? I said, oh, it's cold, but it's just brisk. It's brisk. We'll be fine. I think we had like 70 chickens we were supposed to harvest. We came, huh? And AZ was a baby. So it was 2 years ago probably. Yeah, AZ was a baby. We came out, the hoses were freezing up on us. I mean, it was miserable. The wind kicked up. It was miserable. It was not brisk by any means. It was freezing. We came out, I think we butchered a couple. I think we did like 1 or 2, and we were just like, no, we're done. This is done. This is ridiculous. So anytime it's super cold, I always joke that it's brisk. It's just brisk. It's brisk. It's good. It's good. We're good. We're good. Let's do it.
My hands up.
Check this water. So again, this is what we want. We want to maintain that flow. It's only about halfway full, which I'm fine with. We have been out here a handful of times where we've forgotten. We forgot we had that thing on full blast. We're in there milking, and all of a sudden I hear water overflowing. So I gotta stop milking, come out, shut the hose off, go in, finish milking. By the time I come out, this thing is rock solid. It is frozen. It's frozen. So it's happened to us a handful of times. So it's just super important for me. I try to be cognizant of, in the winter, on these cold days, especially these extreme cold days. Like today's, it's extreme. It's cold. That's what I'm aware. I'm cognizant of. I want to keep that hose on a slow drip, because who needs another challenge? Who needs another problem? Who needs another challenge for the day? If you can minimize it, you know, it's just those are the things that just drive me nuts. Is that something as simple as a frozen hose, especially when I know I could have prevented it. I get in my head about that stuff a lot. It drives me nuts. So I know it sounds simple. I know I keep saying this. It's just I keep bringing it up because it's happened to me a handful of times. All right, I think we're gonna call it a day. It is cold. I'm ready for a cup of coffee. I'm gonna roll in and grab a cup of coffee. So I'm gonna head into the barn, grab a bucket for Evelyn so she can get back to hen chores tomorrow. We're gonna call it a day. As always, appreciate each and every one of you. If you find value in what we're doing here, hopefully you're able to pick up a tip, a trick, a golden nugget to help you in your homesteading journey. That would be a win for me. It's a win for this channel. We would love for you to subscribe, leave some comments. Love the comments, love the feedback. Appreciate y'all. We'll catch you next time.